Hi, my name is Eric Little, and I'm so excited that you took a moment to sit and listen to what I had to say and what I want to talk about today. With all of the things that's going on in the world, there are so many problems that we're faced with. But one of the problems that I want to speak to today is that dealing with men. Um, I am a young man on a journey, traveling, constantly looking for ways to make myself stronger, looking for ways to make myself better, looking for ways to make up for the things that I didn't get in my home. Me being primarily raised in a single parent home for a good portion of my life, my mother was the head of household. And like me, so many other young men that are out there right now, and that's who I'm speaking to, whether you're Hispanic, whether you're black, whether you're white, I'm speaking to men in general. We have to find ways to better ourselves, ways to prepare ourselves for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, especially men between the ages of 15 and 32 and 34, I say 34 years old. It's time for us to start making some good decisions about where and how we want to improve and make ourselves better. And you want to know why? Because I see a disparity between men and women in the culture and in this nation. And it's not the woman's fault. It's based on decisions. I go all the way back to when I was in college. In an average classroom size of 40 students, there would be at least 7 to 10 males in that classroom. And this is an African American college. This is a historically black college that I went to. And in that classroom, about 40 people, 7 to 10 of those people were guys. And for the 5.5 years that I did attend college, it was pretty much the same all the way through. And now when we get into the workforce and we get into building relationships with the men, the women, and we get to building families, those disparities begin to follow themselves into our relationships, and they follow themselves into our homes. And for so often, young women make decisions very early on after watching their mother lead the home, watching their mother make the decisions. And mothers are pulling the daughters close to them, letting them know what they're going to need to survive in this world. But this goes back to what I'm talking about today, is that we don't have men, and we don't have enough men, because there are some men that are in the home. There are some men that are taking responsibility. But we don't have a good concentration of men that are taking their position in the home and in the community to grab those young boys who don't have fathers, just like I didn't. I want to share something with you. You see these beautiful young girls here. Who will they become if they don't get encountered by a real man, by a father? If they're not able to come as they matriculate through ages and build relationship with a father or a man that teaches them about who they are as a young woman and helps preserve their femininity, help preserve their purity, that shows them and demonstrates to them what real love is. I've been talking about a blog that I'm creating and that I'm establishing weekly. The topic is, what's love got to do with it? And this all comes back to it. How are we going to ever teach our daughters how to really know and decipher between love and lust and counterfeit and real men if they don't have an encounter with a real man from the cradle to the grave? Now, on the other hand, I want you to take a look at this young man here. Now, who will he become if a man don't come alongside him and demonstrate, not just teach him through words spoken, but demonstrate through actions what a man is supposed to look like and how a man is supposed to act and how a man is supposed to conduct himself when he's angry, how a man is supposed to conduct himself with a woman, with a mother or with a daughter. What man is going to unlock this young man and teach him that it's okay for him to have emotions, it's okay for him to share and to talk about how he feels, so that he don't lock that up inside and it becomes internal anger that a lot of times break forth in outbursts of rage, which spills over into our domestic violence. And this band that I wear right here, this purple band, is a band that speaks against and that advocates for non-violence in the home. Domestic violence is ripping our communities apart. And we can solve and help bring healing to some of these areas if we can get men to take their rightful place. You know, every day in America, 2,522 babies are born to mothers who are teens. And on the other hand, 3,879 babies are born to teens who are not high school graduates. And on an annual basis, we have about 820,000 abortions a year. These are children that are brutally destroyed. And I say that, you know, with respect to women who have had abortions, and I'm not trying to beat you down, but these are children that are destroyed. And there's no person I can point the finger at, or no person that I can hold accountable more than men. Because we have to be willing to make responsible decisions about what we're going to do sexually. And through all the things that we see and that we hear and the things that culture puts out there, it's time for us to take responsibility sexually. It's time for us to take responsibility academically, making the decision to be at the front, to actually take our position to lead. I'm trying to call men, and myself included, to come from the back to the front academically, from the back to the front sexually, and that's meaning not being ruled by a sexual drive, but understanding and learning how to practice self-control. Myself, because I don't thrive on just saying a thing, I try to be a demonstration. I'm not perfect, but I've been able to practice abstinence for the last 10 years. I've started when I was 25. And that's not to say that I haven't had struggles and that I haven't had situations that could have pulled me into places and into things sexually that I never could have rebounded from. But I'm so thankful that for 10 years that I've been practicing abstinence, it's not been easy, but it's been empowering, because I knew one day that I would have to stand or sit and talk via video or in person to other young men to help us begin to make a decision about whether we're going to be a solution to the problem, or are we going to continue to be a problem that's constantly talked about but never fixed. You see, you and I are either cycle breakers or cycles of cycles. And I challenge you today to become a cycle breaker, to be a cycle breaker as a man, and not just become a cycle of a cycle. Too many men in your family and my family alike have had children out of wedlock. It's time for us to make a decision to break that cycle. Too many men in our family have lost their virginity or made a decision to not practice self-control when it comes to sex. Why don't you, along with myself, practice abstinence and practice being a cycle breaker in that area? Too many of our men are not showing the right kind of example for the young man when it comes to money management and so many other things. And I know I can't fix the problems, all the problems through this video, but I want you to follow along with my blog called Come On Man. And if you want to stay in tune to the conversation that I'm having and that I even started today, you can follow me at www.uncensoredtruth.ericlittle.blogspot.com, or you can follow me on ericlittle77.com. Either one of those websites will lead you to my blog. I really would like to engage in conversation with you, and I would love for us to build dialogue that could help move us toward places of great progression and making solutions that move beyond just a conversation into everyday demonstration. Thank you so much for taking this moment to hear what I had to say. And in closing, I want to just continue to challenge every man that sees this. Make a decision to be a cycle breaker and not a cycle of a cycle. God bless you, and you have a wonderful day. Follow me on the blog. I would love to continue to talk with you. Bye-bye.